I hope that makes sense. It says there's no content in content worth knowing. What that means is there's no story. The story itself has no value in if you want to be free, because the more you're hanging on to the story, the more you're going to experience the pain of that story. You're going to suffer the pain of the story instead of just dropping that story, dropping that suitcase, and focus your attention on what you want. I hope this makes sense. I might come out a bit harsh or challenging here, but you know, in your own experience, you know this is true. Let's move on to the next one. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Put it down underneath the video. Okay, the other one is wanting to change. So I want to change something. I want to change, or wanting to change equals trying to change. So this is the third thing that we do to limit ourselves and creating the life that you want, is wanting to change. And you might say, well, I came to this course because I wanted to change things in my life. And you know what? That's great. But it's the wanting to change instead of changing that is the problem. The wanting to change is the same as saying I'm going to try to change, or wanting. The word wanting is a word of lack. Wanting something says you don't have it. Okay, so the false assumption here is that if I want to change X, if I want to change my finances, if I want to change my health, and if I want to change it enough, it will happen. But you already know that that's not true. I mean, you can force yourself to want to change over and over again, but whatever you put your attention on, you give power. So if you're giving the power of, I want to change, I really want this to be different, then what you're doing is you're putting a lot of attention on the wanting, which is underlying it saying, I don't have it. So you're going to experience more of you don't have it. It creates, what the wanting to change does is creating the opposite force. It's like wanting a change is another way of resisting. So instead of resisting and wanting a change, just see it as you want it. Focus on it as you want it, not on the problem. Don't focus your attention on wanting to change. See it as you want it. Does that make sense? So if I wanted to lose weight, instead of looking in the mirror and thinking, oh sorry, I was going to swear there, but you know, oh, I'm fat, you know, I can look at the mirror and see that. But and if that's how I see myself, I'm focusing on all the problems of why I am fat, why it's not going to work, why it's hard, and I want to change it, I want to change it, I want to change it. So all of that is coming from a space of lack, instead of focusing my attention on it's already done. I can see myself fit, you know, slim, toned, vitality in my face, energy, you know, beaming out of my eyes. I can see that, I can feel that, and that's putting my attention on what I want. The other stuff that I told you earlier is for putting your attention on what you don't want. So wanting to change, and I say focus your attention on what you want, even though I use the word want because we have limitations here in language, what I'm saying is see it as it's already done. So you want something, stop wanting it and see it as it's already done. Andrew Agassi, the tennis player, when he walked up to the tennis court before every game, in his head, in research and interviews I've seen, in his head what he does is he sees the other opponent on the other side on the tennis court, and in his head he's thinking, why did you even bother showing up? Because in his head, Andrew Agassi has already won the game. He's seen it. It's a done deal. Hope that makes sense. So let's get into the next one, because this video is getting quite long, and I want to keep it as short as possible, because I know that if it's too long, you won't stay with me. At least that's what the statistics says, but maybe it's different. So let's go. Here's the fourth one, is beating yourself up. You know, disapproving of ourselves. So the false assumption here is that if I disapprove of myself, if I blame myself, I will do better next time. But again, if you put your attention on beating yourself up and why you effed up and why it's not working, how could you be so stupid, or how could I be so stupid? If you had that, I mean, self-talk that we have to ourselves when we beat ourselves up, we would never accept it from anyone else. But we're accepting it from ourselves. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So what you want to do is you want to stop disapproving of yourself. You know, look yourself in the mirror. As an exercise you can do to stop disapproving of yourself is just look yourself in the mirror. And I know it sounds a bit new agey and flowery and nice, but it works, and that's what's important. Look yourself in the mirror and just see, and just look at yourself and start appreciate yourself. Start to accept yourself as you are. Again, just because you accept yourself as you are doesn't mean you can't have a better condition or aiming for a better condition of yourself or of your life. It just means accept and be grateful for who you are. Have appreciation for you, your unique gifts and your unique talents that you have. And be in awe, absolute awe. Like when you see a beautiful sunset, or you see maybe your baby for the first time, you go, wow. And be in that kind of state of wow about yourself. And for some of you this might be far out there, but just give yourself a little bit of appreciation, and it can go a long way. Okay? So stop disapproving of yourself. We all make mistakes. We all make bad decisions. We all, failing at times. But you know what? We're human. It's part of the human experience. And it's the people, the individuals that rise above that and keep on continuously creating their reality the way they want it, that comes out on top and having a fulfilled, happy life. So my message here is, stop disapproving of yourself and start approving of yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and appreciate what you see. Have acceptance for, whatever. If I have a big nose, I accept my big nose. It's okay. Be in awe, be in that wow about who you really are. Because you are magnificent. You are a powerful being. You have these abilities that you can create and expand your life exactly as you want to see it. Exactly as you want it. Let go of the want. Once you know what you want, let go of the want and just have it as done. You have that power. The question is, will you act on it? And hopefully I've inspired you with this video, and you stop doing these 4 things. And if you have any questions, leave it underneath the video. In the next video, by the way, thank you, and I acknowledge you for listening through this whole thing and watching this whole thing if you did, because I know it's, with the attention, we have so much information bombarding us all the time that getting a message like this across can sometimes not be the most easiest task in the world. So and for you to be able to stay here and be participating and be engaged in this, I just want to thank you for that, and I want to acknowledge you for listening to the end. If you have any questions, put them down there underneath. If you have comments, same thing. If you want to contribute some ideas, I'm more than happy to hear it. And if you like this, share it with other people. There's links down underneath here where you can share it on Facebook and on Twitter, so more people can get to hear this message, because I think it's important that more and more people start to wake up to who they really are and let go of their limitations. So enough said. The video number 2 will come in a couple of days, and it's in that video we're going to talk about what you really want and why you don't have it, why problems are not the problems, where are your limitation, barriers and obstacles that you perceive or you might perceive that you have, where are they really, and how can we go beyond all of this and create the life that you want. This is Patrick, and thank you for listening, and looking forward to connecting with you in the comment section below if you leave comments. Otherwise, I'll connect with you again in video number 2, and until then, live limitless. Okay, thanks, cheers.